Hello friends, and welcome back to another adventure with Miss Rachel. This one is a garden adventure. Hopefully you could tell that by the different intro. I wanted to bring you this video because it's been a while since we've been in the garden at school. So I want you to see all the awesome things that are happening out there and growing out there. This is a garden tour of the Upland Elementary Garden featuring your host, Miss Rachel. Here's me saying hi to you. You can't tell, but I'm smiling under there. Oh, that one's weird. Ooh, much better. All right, enough about me. Let's get to the plants. Here is our succulents. They haven't grown too much. They're kind of a slow-growing plant. And now you can see the snapdragons. Most of the flowers have kind of dried out, but there's still some hanging on at the top. Look at all these bushes of flowers. They have grown immensely. That means a lot since we've been gone. I love those magenta colored flowers, especially because they have you can see the bright yellow, kind of yellowish orange dots that they have in the middle. I think they're so pretty. Do you have a favorite flower? If you do, comment it down below so I'll know. Now we're moving over to our herbs. You can see our mint plants have gotten huge. Right down there in the middle you can see our sage plant. That's the one with the fuzzy leaves. It hasn't grown as much as the mint. The mint has just taken off. And now you can see that oregano plant in between those two mint plants. We have 3 different kinds of mint at Upland Elementary. And here is an herb with curled leaves called curled parsley with a little ladybug on it. I saw several ladybugs in the garden this day, and ladybugs are really great in the garden because they eat the insects that we don't want in the garden. Here are some herbs that I picked and took home, and I made some mint lemonade. Oh, it was so good. Now this is our peach tree that's growing. Some of you guys saw it, but it didn't have any fruit on it. And maybe it had just flowers when we left school. But now it has those little, do you see those little fuzzy bulbs on it? Or little fuzzy circles or spheres? Those are peaches that are growing, that will grow nice and big and juicy. Here I am showing you the label. This is an Alberta peach. And this is just a closer picture so you can really see the fuzz on those little peach bulbs. Now look at these radish plants. These radish plants have grown like 3 feet tall. They have just taken off. Now, because they've started to flower, it means that the radish that's in the ground, while it's still there and huge, is probably pretty bitter and not very good to eat anymore. Do any of you guys remember the taste test that we did with the radishes? These are the flowers that come off of the radish plants. They weren't flowering when we were at school, and the cool thing about it means that once those flowers kind of dry out, it actually will give us seeds, and we could take those seeds and plant new radishes. So I'm just going along here and showing you all of the radishes at the bottom. Just some peeking out. You can see where the leaves have started to kind of dry out, or maybe a bug has gotten to them. And now they're showing, oh, look at that leaf. A lot of signs of decomposition. And that means that insects are coming to eat the plants that are the leaves that are no longer healthy. And they're decomposing our leaves, and they make them into soil. I thought these flowers were really pretty because some of them were just all white, and then others of them were like this purplish pink color. They were really pretty. One thing I thought was really interesting was these 2 lettuce plants were planted at the same time, but that one on the left got really dried out and was no longer growing. Interesting how things work in the garden. Here's some more lettuce plants. And we're moving right along to more lettuce plants. Do any of you remember the rainbow smoothie that we had with these lettuce leaves in them? And right next to those lettuce plants are some more radishes, but these ones haven't grown quite so big and they don't have any flowers yet. So these ones would probably still be good to eat. And I found another ladybug. As you can see, the leaf that he's on actually has probably some critters that were on it eating it. And now the ladybug is there eating those critters that were eating our leaves. And we want our leaves on our plants because remember, those are the part of the plants that do photosynthesis. This is a beet plant, which is a root vegetable that you guys tried 1 month for Harvest of the Month early on in the year. So that's what a beet plant looks like. Here is more lettuce. We actually harvested these this day and put them into some of the meal distribution bags. Now, Upland Unified has thousands of students, so not everybody got to have some of Upland Elementary's delicious produce, but I hope some of you got a bag. Let me know in the comments below if you got some produce from our garden. And these are the big granddaddy cabbages that we have been growing, and this is actually what inspired me to film this video, is I needed you to see how big these cabbages got. Aren't they amazing? I thought they were such a beautiful plant to grow. I had never grown cabbages before. You can see me kind of putting my hands on them so you can see just how big they are. And then you can kind of see me give them a little squeeze. I knew they were ready to be picked because they were super firm on the inside. And now it's harvest time. I went ahead and picked the smallest cabbage for myself so I could take it home and make sure there wasn't a lot of bugs in it. So I grabbed on both sides, twisted, and then pulled, and it came off. Look how beautiful that is. The smallest one was still the size of my head. Okay, now we're moving over to the fruit trees. This is a fruit tree that was blossoming as we left school. It had these beautiful little pink flowers on it, but no leaves. And now it's full of green leaves and these little fuzzy balls or spheres, which leads me to believe that it's probably a stone fruit. A stone fruit is something that has a pit in the middle, kind of like an apricot or a nectarine, or like the peaches that you saw earlier in the video. But honestly, I just can't wait to see what kind of fruit this tree bears, because it's gonna be delicious either way. At least I think so. Now we're gonna move on to the grapefruit tree. I thought this would be awesome to show because I know that some of you guys got to try the grapefruits off this tree. And you can see here that they have flowers on them, and then new grapefruits are growing out of those flowers. That's how a grapefruit grows. So those little green balls coming out of the white flowers are going to be very large grapefruit someday. Now the last thing I wanted to show you was back in the garden. It's this romaine lettuce plant. It's done what we call bolting, which means a large stem has come out of the middle of the plant and it started producing flowers, which means the leaves on that plant are now really bitter and not very good to eat. But the amazing thing is that those yellow flowers that you see will produce a seed, and we can harvest those seeds or take those seeds and use those seeds to plant new lettuce plants. And that right there is just the circle of life. Alright my friends, that concludes the tour. This has been a garden adventure with Miss Rachel. I hope you enjoyed getting to see your garden from the comfort of your own home. There were so many awesome things that I wanted to show you, so I hope that you got to see something that you really enjoyed. I'll see you next time on another adventure with Miss Rachel. Bye!